Yo, what is going on, everybody? Caveman Jack back for another album reaction / review, and we are back live from the studio. Yo, hopefully you guys are having an awesome week. Now, Bon Iver is an artist that really I just love the sounds that he can create. His tone, his self-titled album means a lot to me. The song Perth in particular is one of my favorite songs of all time, to be honest. Last year, I decided to go back and check out his debut, For Emma, forever ago. And the story behind that album is phenomenal, how he wrote that in a cabin over a space of a year. I think it was a year or 6 months. He'd just gotten out of a relationship. He didn't know where he was going in his life, and he just wanted to escape. And he went to a cabin that his father built, I believe. And it was out in the middle of nowhere. And he was self-sufficient, got his own firewood, got his own food, hunted in this cabin. And I think there he was able to kind of work through a lot of these demons and a lot of these things that he needed to look at and address. And through that, he made some incredible music. And that's where For Emma, Forever Ago came from. And I think that story is so phenomenal. And you can really hear that. When you go through that album, you can feel how just atmospheric that project is. It truly feels like you are in that cabin with him. But today, I'm finally going into another album by Bon Iver that has been well regarded and something that I've really wanted to sit down and check out for quite some time. 22 A Million is a strange collection of song titles with uppercases, lowercases, weird looking signs, very strange. Album cover art, it's a bit trippy, quirky, which I think adds to the strangeness of the song titles. But haven't heard any of the tracks from this album. It's 34 minutes. I'm just excited to close my eyes, dive into this sound again, as he really does mean a lot to me. This sound is just so nostalgic, so warm to me. I'm really interested to hear where this sound goes. This was the follow-up to his self-titled. So let's get into it. This is 22 A Million by Bon Iver.
It might be over soon.
Where you gonna look for confirmation? And if it's ever gonna happen, it might be over soon. All these years, there I found you marked in constellations. There isn't ceiling in our garden, and then I draw an ear on you.
It might be over soon.
Oh, man.
As I may stand up with a vision, called daylight, golden red. Within her eyes there lies a scissor.
It might be over soon.
Quite a electronic sounding, the high-pitched sample that was used. Really trippy as well. There was multiple points where the song seemed to like cut out the sounds. It was almost like the headphones didn't plugged in right. You kind of have these kind of thoughts as you're listening to it. Super electronic. I think as we compare it to self-titled, this is a little bit more electronic sounds on this track. I wonder if the rest of this project will follow suit. When that guitar came in, super warm, bloody warm. Oh my gosh, man. This is some Yeezus sounding instrumentation right now. Oh man, definitely experimental on this project. This is super different. Still captures that warmness in his voice, even when the instrumentation is so heavy. I have no idea how to say that song title, but that track was great. Probably some of the heaviest stuff I've heard Bon Iver do. Had a bit of Yeezus to it, that really distorted sound. Bon Iver has a couple. I think Bon Iver's on one of the songs on Yeezus, and that's, it just sounded a bit like that. I liked how, once again, he's used a large range of instrumentation. The first half of that song, I was like, wow, this is very jarring. This is something I'm not really used to Bon Iver doing, especially in an album sense. I feel like Self-Titled and Forever Ago seem like a very far cry to this. This is quite heavy in electronic sounds, and I'm here for it. I'm excited to hear this progression in his sound, and I think we're getting that from the first two tracks already. But that one was tough. When the drums, really effective use of when the drums came in and out on that song.
Down along the creek,
super electronic, man.
Remember something. Heard the heron hurried away. When first I breached that last Sunday, toiling with your blood. I remember something. And being rushing, kissing on a night, second to last. Finding both your hands, a second sun came past the glass. And oh, I know it felt bad, I had you in my grasp. Turn around, you're my 18. Turn around, now you're my 18. Goddamn, turn around, now you're my 18.
715 Creeks. I'm not sure how we say that song title, but I couldn't really follow it too much. It was super jarring. You had multiple layers there, heavy auto-tune kind of effect on his voice there. But what you could feel in that piece was the emotion, very passionate. It's almost very sporadic in his delivery. There was softer bits, and then the heavy auto-tune would and the kind of explosiveness of his voice would just come out in the next line, and you'd be like, whoa. A very just emotional song. You could feel this kind of passionate plea, almost like when he's like, turn around, you're my A-team, like turn around, like I need you. Is he losing touch with someone in that song? That cry almost sounded like he was crying out to someone.
Is the company stalling? We had what we wanted, your ass.
I like this sampling, man. I like the use of the sampling.
I'd be happy as hell if you stayed for tea.
They do sound a bit like Minions, though, the ones in the background.
This is
Sound a bit like Minions. thing.
Staying at the Ace Hotel, the calm will allow. I would just be floating to you now. It would make me pass to let it pass on.
Here in this room, this narrow room, where life began when we were young, I smile.
That's beautiful.
When we walked up on that boat in the street, after you tied me in the driveway of the apartment I was being, said I would have walked across any thousand lands. I didn't need you that night, I could have need you anytime. I was gonna take it as it goes. I could go forward in the night, but I better fold my clothes.
33 God, that had something really special to it, that song. I think that song's definitely going to take a couple more listens for me, to be honest. But I could hear how there was I could feel that song was special. A lot of different layers there, a lot of different shifts in sound. We were moving at a rapid pace throughout that song. I think this album, if you are looking for a little bit more of that folky sound, it's there, but it's like combining with heavy electronics, sampling, distortion, auto-tune. That song, I liked how he was going back and forth with the high-pitch vocal take. That sounded really cool, that dynamic when they were playing off each other. A lot of beautiful instrumentation on that one, especially on the back end of the song. I think that one, going back to it, may just increase in stature. I think that one has something really special to it. What are with these song titles, man? Strafford Apartments? Is it just like notes, just random notes that he's done?
Sharing smoke in the stare up off the hot car lot. The sunshine hard on the video spot.
Multiple vocal layers here. He's put like different kind of pitches on.
Sure as any living dream. It's not all in what it seems. And the whole thing's hauled away. A woman empty rolling up, you're rolling up, you're holding it, your fabric now. Motor up and yeah, you're on. Ooh. And yeah, you're on your own. Fold the map and man the gap. And I told the word companion. And I make myself escape all the multitude of others. It comes always off the page. So fine, so nice.
Wow. A very emotive piece again. I think the multiple layers and different pitch changes can sometimes throw you a little. And I think this album, just like I said in the last song, it feels like a grower. I think you have to sit with it a little bit, especially if you're used to hearing his older work. This can come across quite different. It's super experimental, which I'm loving. I'm loving hearing something that's throwing me. You're still getting. I'm missing a lot of the concepts behind the songs. I'm not being able to follow some of the stories that he's saying in terms of the lyrics. So I apologize if people are looking for that in this reaction. However, what I am getting is just a multitude of depths that I think a first listen won't provide. Even the end there, we had that similar to the first track where it almost feels like your headphones are not plugged in properly. 666 down. It's an interesting effect he's got on the guitar here. Bit of a delay. I like that, like tap tripping sound almost in the synth.
Six is hanging the door. What kind of shit to ignore? I've cut the cloth. Ooh. My circle. I fell in love. I heard about it. I heard about it.
It's cool.
Heard about it.
I like that little like cutting of the sample in and out.
So it's not in your class.
Bass line,
What's the
okay.
function of the test? You're that story myself. I learned about it.
Oh, great, man. Just really great layers here.
Still standing, the need of prayer. The need of prayer. I can admit to conceal. No, that's not how that's supposed to feel. Oh no, it's not for good. Fuck the fashion of a deal. I've laughed about it. I've laughed about it. I've laughed about it. Oh.
Very much aware so far. This one's gonna be a bit of a repeated listen. Speaking backwards now.
The math ahead, the math behind it. It's moon water.
Moonwater. Man, just how many sounds are we hearing? Like you hear that really kind of untuned guitar that we're hearing.
Remember us now. The math behind
Keeps going from left ear to right ear. And
from moon water.
this is unsettling as. Very unnerving. I want to see how this rolls into the next track. think this album is the type of project where you listen front to back, you're getting a lot more out of it rather than selecting songs. You can do that, but I think a lot of these tracks lend itself to the idea that it's a natural progression through the album, which, it's probably not the best thing that I've stopped every song and had a chat about it, but how are we to know on the first reaction? But for future listens, for myself at least, and recommendations I have for you guys that want to check out this album for the first time, go front to back. You're getting a little bit more of story, a little bit more of a unique ride.
Philosophize and figure what I haven't held. Who's agonized and all through it all? I'm underneath the tongue. I'm standing in the street now, and I carry his guitar. Too much for me to pick up. Lots of work forgiveness is. I will run.
That's classic Bon Iver right there.
Have to crawl, still can't stop it. Along the fire, one more time, just pass me by. I'ma make it happen tonight. All that wishes, I will run. Have to crawl, still consumed. Carry on blowing on faded time.
That song there, I was closing my eyes because I was trying to imagine myself like off somewhere listening to this song, like on a beach or somewhere like really scenic. I think a lot of Bon Iver's work can be so atmospheric, and when pairing that with the right location or the right state of mind, it can really transport you to another place. I just know that this album at a time in my life will really hit. I'm not taking anything away from this reaction. I think it's been almost like an exploratory dive and kind of going, whoa, what the heck's going on here? Wasn't expecting this. But rather, I think there'll be a time when I do check this album out in full and its depths will connect with me. Can even hear the breathing.
Well, I've been coughing fire.
Very dry. It's very dry there.
Well, I've been caught in fire. I've been caught in fire. What comes prior to?
It's a very intimate song. You can really feel, obviously he's got the dry vocal, but the breathing as well.
I've been caught in fire. I stayed down the other night. I've been caught in fire. I stayed down. Without knowing what the truth I've been caught in fire. I stayed down the other night. I've been caught in fire. I stayed down. Without knowing what the truth is. fire, fire.
Great use of instrumentation here. This is a beautiful song, this one. 45 was an incredibly intimate song. From the start, you're hearing the saxophone, you're hearing the breathing in between the notes, and that felt super intimate. His vocal came in, it was the driest we've heard his vocal without any effects this whole album, I'd say. And, at times, that's one of the most driest performances I've heard from Bon Iver, that first half of the song. I loved how in the second half of the song, the saxophone was complemented by really light synths that started playing softly. The layering started coming in. I liked it a little bit more. There was a little less auto-tune, which I liked. The effects were the layering was rather just different pitches. He was singing different pitches, but it wasn't as jarring as just a straight auto-tune layer on top of his main vocal. I don't think that would have worked as well with the dry main vocal. What a wild project this one's been. Really intricate. Sounds like a classic Bon Iver song. Great sample there, that's beautiful.
If it's on me, it'll harm me, I'll let it in. But worry about no sense, it ain't gonna buy the groceries or middle out locusts, or way to find. It harms me, it harms me, it harms me like a lamb.
That's beautiful. Beautiful outro. Beautiful outro. Bon Iver definitely changed up the sound a little. I would say a little, probably a fair amount, much more experimentation, electronic sounds on this project as opposed to Self-Titled. Self-Titled had flashes of it, but this is taking it to another level. Like I said a bunch of times, this album is going to take a bit of time, I think, or it might be one of those projects that hits you at a different point in your life. There were certainly moments that really connected with me. Bon Iver, like I said, will always mean a lot. That sound and his voice and the warmness and richness that I can feel when hearing his voice and those beautiful tones that he can sing in. That'll never dissipate, whatever project he does. So I think for me here, this one, it had moments of just awe and going, wow, and then moments of just being slightly jarred because, again, I wasn't really sure what to expect with this one. So sorry if this reaction was a little bit like, that was kind of trippy, but it was. It was a bunch of these songs were certainly trippy for me. And I say that in a good way. Part of some of my favorite songs is the fact that, they've taken me days, weeks, months, even years to finally hit, so this is simply a first reaction basis. So you're going to have probably different, for a lot of tracks and songs, you may have completely different thoughts in a couple of years on how you view that song. You may like it even more. You might realize that there's parts of it that you didn't really connect to. The standout for me was probably 33 God. I think that had a lot of elements on a first listen that I would definitely be able to just fall back into straight away. A lot of the other songs, though, they're very album pieces. I feel like I said it earlier, but this album as a whole, I think, feels more like a sound. rather than track by track and picking tracks you like. I think it sweeps you up a bit more when you listen to it all the way through. Next time I listen to it, it will just be track to track. I won't be stopping. I want to get that full experience. I think Bon Iver would probably suggest that this album flows really nicely. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think of that project. What's your favorite track off of it? What is your favorite Bon Iver album? I'd love to hear down below in the comments. If this is your first time checking out the channel, welcome. Hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did and want to see more, feel free to hit the subscribe button and join the community. We listen to a wide range of music on the channel. My name is Caveman Jack. This was 22 A Million by Bon Iver. Take care, guys, and I will see y'all in the next video. Cheers.
It might be over soon.